We're going to pick up a camera and a lens. Let's take you on that journey.
Before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that this will be more of a tech review video. I don't want to get too deep in the technical elements of it to bore you, but if you're not into that, no worries. In the new year, we're going to be coming out with a lot more vlogs and a lot more day-to-day vlogs, which is going to be super awesome as well. So if you're not into that, no worries, and we'll see you in the new year.
First, we drink coffee. Now we got a lens, and we got some cool aperture lights. Obviously didn't film inside because I'm not cool enough yet, but one step closer, and we got the 20-40-70 lens 2.8 Sony. I'll explain why we got that either in a later video, but let's head to, I don't even know where we're going right now.
So we got a new camera. Let's take a look. Big question. I know I've given little hints in the other videos, but this video will be a little bit of a tech review, but I thought it was very important to include it in this building a film company vlog series, because investing your money and really trying to figure out what to spend your money on is very important, especially when you have a smaller company like I do, and we don't make tons and tons of revenue. So when you have to invest, you're really investing in the overall brand, and that's why I think it's important to include this in one of the vlogs videos. So let's get right into it. Specifically for films / photography, whatever you're looking for, it is really hard to make the decision. It took me quite a while to really figure out what camera I wanted to get and to justify that it would be an investment, that it's better than the one I already had, and I could use it for new things such as these vlogs, and really just to build more of a quality brand with this new camera. Now, you're probably asking yourself, okay, Zach, what camera did you guys get? Well, we got the Sony A7S III. So the big question, why this camera? Why the camera we're shooting on right now? Why did I decide to pick the Sony A7S III compared to all the other cameras out there? You guys should know that I was a Nikon camera guy. I grew up with Nikon. I started with a very, very beginner starter camera and then moved up the Nikon line. And then eventually we hit this point where Nikon was good, but you also have to look at what companies are hiring for what jobs. It's very little that, maybe more for photography, but for video production, it's very little chance that they're going to hire you and want a Nikon branded camera. Not saying they're good, but definitely they're not the best when it comes to film. It's helped me for what I needed, but it was time for an upgrade. When we look at the Sony brand and the Sony camera, it is really what people are looking for right now. It's what the brand, they want that brand, and they want it for professional shoots. A lot of Sony cameras, as well as other cameras, really qualify for shoots that are going to go to television, are going to go to Netflix, streaming service, things that you've watched maybe, are going to go for that. The last video that you guys saw of us making a TV show, I got to be a camera op for a couple days. We used basically a pretty high quality Sony camera. So that was the Sony FX6 or 7. That was the 7. And right now what we're using is like 5 or 6 below that. So the biggest question that I had to myself was whether I'm getting the Sony A7S III or the Sony FX3. Now, the Sony FX3 crosses more into the cinema world, which is really great, but you lose your viewfinder. It's a lot more digital, and you don't lose necessarily pixelation within your pictures. It's still 12.1 megapixels for each camera, but there's something to gain on having a camera that is more of a hybrid. I would say if you're looking at investing within a film camera or a media camera to take pictures versus a cinematography camera, within my job, within my company, I still take a good amount of pictures. We have to do headshots, we do promotional pictures, and I'd say that makes up more than 20%. If you need to take pictures more than 20% of the time, I would really suggest taking that little step down. It's not down at all because this camera actually is a step up from the FX3, but the FX3 is more specialized within the cinema world. So with this camera, we're getting the quality of the FX3, a little bit less on the video front, but it can still do basically all the same functions, and we're also getting that addition of having the viewfinder for pictures and having a little bit more variable when it comes to photography and the switchover of that run and gun shoot compared to just cinematic cameras. With the Sony A7S III, there's a lot of variables that made me go out and get this one. A must for me right now for vlogging is having the 360 180 LCD screen. So being able to flip that out and being able to see myself helps tremendously. With my old camera, I actually have it right here, my old Nikon, it flips out, but it only gets that variable bracket, and you aren't able to get that turn that you basically need for vlogging, and it helps out tremendously, and it's overall a very big reason why I was looking into this category. Another main thing of me looking into Sony was there's the past projects I've done. Over the last 5 film projects I've done, minus our musical series, we've shot on all Sonys. So I was used to the brand, I know the brand, and I was really looking into a Sony before I actually was gonna put my foot down and make that financial investment. So I took right to Sony right away, and I have to say, for having it about a month now, I am extremely happy with the decision we made, and I can't wait to shoot more narrative videos on this. I'm sure you guys have seen the quality of the vlogs switch up a bit because this is my main vlogging camera as well, but I'm excited to shoot some narrative as well. So those are a couple big factors which made me actually decide to get the Sony A7S III. If you guys also have any questions that I don't cover right now, please put them in the comments down below. I'm very active in my comment section, so if you are trying to decide which camera to get, I'll be happy to answer you right away. So with this camera, a couple benefits that you're getting is you are getting that slow motion function up to 120 frames per second, which is extremely beautiful for B-roll and any shots like that, as well as Sony is winning the game on low light. This native ISO goes to 128,000 with no grain, no disturbance, which is honestly absolutely phenomenal. And especially within the genre of movies I shoot and are developed, there tend to be some darker scenes or exterior nighttime scenes, which that comes in handy so much because you don't want a scene getting ruined by the amount of grain in your camera because your ISO goes too high. Reasoning behind investing in this specific camera, obviously when you're in the film world, when you have your own company, the biggest decision of actually investing in gear is trying to invest in gear that you think you're able to, okay, if I get this camera, I'll have a better opportunity for these amount of jobs, which then might give you money at least to break even or pay for that financially. So you have to think about that through an investment. You're obviously not buying a camera just to buy a camera, but you're buying a camera first of all to better your brand and also to advance your company further, not taking a step back. So that basically sums up the reasoning why we got this guy, and I'm very excited to have it. Now let's touch a little bit on that lens. Sony 24 to 70 2.8 prime. This is the GM1. There's two generations. This is the first generation. The second generation I almost got, but it is a very big price difference, $1,000 difference adding it for a little bit lighter lens body, as well as an aperture ring that when you build a camera out fully, build a full cine camera out, you're really not going to want to get in there on the lens and be playing with the aperture too much. So I decided it's okay to go with a heavier lens as well as to go with the semi-cheaper lens that is able to do amazing quality, and Sony has amazing glass anyways, so I really wanted one of the first lenses we bought to be Sony branded. Saying that, there's going to be a ton of lenses we're able to work with this camera. Sony is an E-mount, so any E-mount lenses can fit with this. So down the line, I'm really looking for the Rokinon lenses, lower end film grade cine lenses, which I'm really excited to test those out on this camera, as well as hopefully being able to rent some really high quality cine lenses for a possible new series coming up very soon. A little wink wink, nudge nudge there. But this lens is absolutely amazing if you want an all around lens that helps. Like basically you can do anything for is the 24 to 70. You can get beautiful close-ups without being too close to people, and you can get those master wides that you're also going to need as well. I do think this is one of the best lenses you can get for starter. That's why I wanted to kind of go with this lens. I know with film some people go with the nifty 50s, so just a 50 prime or a 24 prime, but with the vlogs and with what I'm trying to do and the flexibility I need right now, I only had the budget for that one lens, so I wanted to make sure it was a monster that can do everything that we need. I really want to get this video out because this will be marking the last episode of Season 1 for CBZ Production Vlogs. I hope you guys enjoyed, and it's just exciting. It's so exciting being able to invest in your company. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely terrifying throwing down like money and not knowing if it's going to come back in return, but hey guys, come with me, take it one step at a time, and let's just create, and hopefully through this creation process, we are able to show the world a little bit about CBZ Productions. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays over this break. I will see you guys Sunday, and guys, I can't wait for Season 2 of CBZ Vlogs. It's going to get crazy. We have so much coming up in Season 2 already that you guys better hang in there because there's a lot coming. See you guys in the new year. Merry Christmas.
We let our hearts beat as one.